might have been blown a little too much into the.
Oh. And we are 1 week away from the playoffs. The final week of the regular season coming up here this Friday and Thursday, and it is time for the South Florida Blitz. We will talk high school football for the next 30 minutes in South Florida as we take you up to, well, Josh, this is the last week, and next week, starting next week, we'll have a different format here every week.
Yeah, we're gonna do playoffs during the playoff run with everything to the drive to Tallahassee.
That's right.
As we're gonna probably dub it here.
That's what it would be. You're right. So, no guests tonight. We're gonna mostly kind of talk about the postseason going on, and a lot going on at the end of the regular season. Marty Pallman, Joshua Wilson, the owner and publisher of FloridaHSFootball.com, as we bring you tonight's edition of the South Florida Blitz. We already had our playoff breakdown show a little while ago. That'll be the last edition of that because
I really, to be honest with you, Marty, at the end of the day, it's going to be really interesting to see how things. Don't know what is going on with our thing. I think if you see a blip here, it is somehow the internet connection. For whatever reason, our internet provider, where I'm at, we have had upping gazillions of troubles, and it's not just me. It's across the whole entire neighborhood. There's just been issues going on. So we're trying to just bear with us if the internet kind of goes a little wonky here. So we're just we are on. So I can tell you that.
Well, that's good. But anyway, we are going to talk tonight about let's go ahead and start with what we do every week here, our breaking news headlines. They call it the Blitz Lines.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, here we go. I mean, this is it. This is week 11. We're setting the table here basically for everything across the board here in terms of what is going to happen. And it starts with, hey, Norland bounces North Miami Beach, clinches District 2 and the 13 here. So there you go. That's where we're at here.
Yeah, Norland unbeaten as they continue to work towards the postseason. They already beat Central. We knew they were going to probably win that district, and they did take care of business against North Miami Beach to officially clinch it. So Norland probably will be the number one seed in their region, Region 4 of 2M. But it's been quite a year for the Norland Vikings already. It's been a while since they've probably gone through a season undefeated. It's definitely been a while since they've beaten Miami Central, which they already did once this year. And they're going to see Miami Central again in the playoffs? Probably.
Yeah,
so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and I think a couple of people have already talked about, hey, will Central, Central and Norland, the potential rematch and everything, and I think that's going to be a big thing right there is to talk about it. But yes, and here we go, right on spot, right on cue.
You might like our Halloween graphics. And by the way, happy Halloween to everybody if you're watching. And tomorrow's November 1st. Michael Parsons saying, great job with the playoff picture. It's Halloween, fellas. Expect crazy stuff tonight. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is the trick-or-treaters of the Halloween. Maybe the internet playing trick-or-treat.
Could be. Not a time for it to do that, but hopefully everyone's enjoying their holiday. It's supposed to get cooler here the next couple of days. Maybe we'll finally get some, well, at least in our part of Florida. I don't know. Doing, in South Florida, but it is supposed to get down in the 40s next couple of nights. So I'm looking forward to that.
Maybe not in South Florida, though.
That's what I'm saying, not in South Florida. But, yeah, as you said, Northern will face either Central or BTW, Booker T. Washington. So, yeah, probably. It'll probably be one of those two at some point. So it'll be interesting to see down there in South Florida what happens with that 2M Region 4. Meanwhile, in District 3M12, how about Piper? They knock off Plantation to win the district title.
Yes, 24-21 was the final score, and Piper, I started questioning, what was going on with Plantation when Coconut Creek gave them the business earlier this season. I mean, they just literally give Plantation the business.
Right, absolutely.
And I think that's where the trouble started there for the Colonels. Honestly, Plantation usually is one of the stronger teams. Usually, it's a team that's always in that playoff hunt, always talked about in that playoff picture. And honestly, this year for Piper, for head coach, it's Quentin Short there at Piper. He's in his first season after being over at Stoneman Douglas, and Piper, stunning Plantation, take the district, and now they're sitting there at the number 8 seed in Class 3 in Region 3, and actually, it was. I want to say it was the 8 seed. I want to say that was a thing. I will go back.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, the 8 seed. Yes, and if that happens to be the case, come Sunday, well, your first round playoff opponent is unfortunately St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, and that probably is going to happen. It looks like at this point. You're right. Number 8, Piper 6-4. Aquinas is number 1 seed at 9-1. So that probably will be, as Michael Parsons says, congrats to the Bengals.
Yes.
That probably will be their matchup.
No, absolutely. Congratulations to the Piper Bengals in that, and we appreciate everybody here joining us here on the South Florida Blitz. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and then click that notification bell to get notifications when we go live or put up new videos. And of course, along the way as we roll along here, this one, Marty, Jupiter. It's been a long time since people have talked about Jupiter and district championship in the same sentence, but that's what it is. The Jupiter Warriors, Jason Kryman in his second year there as the head coach, and they are on the verge of a 9-win season, Marty.
Almost 20 years, 2004, since Jupiter won a district title. And on the verge of a 9-win season, as you said. So, and meanwhile, Neptune also won a state district title in Pluto.
Neptune.
Gotta love Jupiter.
Marty's got the jokes tonight, everybody.
Yeah, I know, but I just love the name Jupiter. But there you go. But what a year for Jupiter, and you got to be proud if you're a coach down there of that program. They have not been in this situation in a while. Hard to believe. Almost 20 years. That's a long time to go without a district title.
No, you're absolutely right, Marty, and it's not easy. I mean, Jupiter's been in the playoff a couple times over in that stretch, but as a district champ, no, that's the thing. And of course, Michael Parsons would say, "Warriors, what a season!" He is right about that. Definitely appreciate there. And Palm Beach Central keeps the Wellington Cup and clinches District 4 and 10 along the way. And we will talk about Palm Beach Central even more a little bit later in the Pick 6 because their game against Cardinal Newman is one of those games tonight, this week.
That's right. It is in the Wellington Cup, huh?
So between them and Wellington High School. So,
Wellington, it would have to be.
Yes.
So that's good. Palm Beach Central keeps it, as you say. And, they're having another big year as well. Jupiter is in. They're in
4M9. Palm Beach Central's in 4M10,
that's right.
Palm Beach Central, they're a team that's been really, really strong the last few years. I mean, state semifinals and everything like that last year, and of course, Popka into that one for them. But can they do it this year? That's the question mark. And when we come to talk about certain things, Marty, it's the classifications. We're going to talk about this more on Sunday. Of course, the playoff, we're going to have a big playoff breakdown show of all the official brackets and everything from the FHAA on Sunday from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. right here on the FloydHSFootball.com platform. And we got a great guest lineup for the round table: Larry Bluestein, Mike Rideout, Dan LaForest and not John Santucci. I invited John. John's not going to be able to join us, but we have Irish Bill Hamill. So we've got 4 guests that's sitting there for a round table. We would have had 5, but John Santucci would have been number 5 for us. But it's okay. We can do it with 4 because we've also got ourselves here, and it's going to be fun.
Basically,
still going to be a party here in terms of a way, but we are going to have a great show there in terms of everything like that. But when we talk about that, some of these teams here, Palm Beach Central. I mean, when I talked to John Santucci earlier, he feels like there's only 2 classifications that it almost feels like it's certain that the favorite's going to win. The favorite that came into the start of the season is going to win, or in terms of that. And there's only 2 classes, and it seems like Cocoa maybe in 2S, which we'll talk about more in Central Florida because of where we got the position at. But then Chaminade Madonna and 1M. I think Chaminade Madonna is going to just whoever they get on the other side, they're going to run away with.
Yeah, I think I agree with you too. They're going to be probably the heaviest favorite, I think, to win a state title, too, is Chaminade Madonna again in that classification. But, that to me is they're the team to watch down south that's really going to have the best chance. I think Miami Norland, too. And we'll see that as it goes along. But I think Miami Norland is a team that also will have a really good shot at winning a state championship this year as well. And coming out of Class 2M.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Jupiter, I'm looking at Jupiter. They are the 3rd seed in Region 3 right now in 4M, and Palm Beach Central is 1st. And in between, you've got Monarch.
Yeah.
Coconut Creek having a good year. They won their district. Boca Raton wins their district as well. The top 4 teams are all district winners.
Of course, you got Columbus, Miami, Palmetto there, Western, and West Broward. Those are your 4 district champs out of Region 4 and 4M. And Columbus is defending state champ in 4M, and to be honest with you, I mean, does Columbus repeat? That's going to be the big question. I think 4M is a more wide open classification, and of course, we'll talk about that more in the Central Florida Blitz too with this because it affects both of these regions when we look at it. And honestly, I mean, does Columbus repeat? Columbus has shown flashes that they struggle. I mean, I think they did get Alberto Mendoza back last week after he sustained an injury. So I think that's the big question mark right there is what can Columbus do? I mean, that's going to be the key mark in the playoffs. But if it ends up being Columbus and Miami Palmetto in the regional final in Region 4, that'll be really interesting because Miami Palmetto has some unfinished business to deal with on Columbus.
Yes, they do. As he says, Michael says 4M wide open, and JC Denton. The only team that can compete with Chaminade Madonna in 1M is Carrollwood Day, and that would only be for a half. He doesn't even think Trinity Christian, who. Well, they've beaten them before, but this year I don't know.
But I say this, and we'll talk about it more on the North Florida Blitz later on. But Trinity Christian, they had a senior heavy class coming in, and they struggled this year.
What about Clearwater Central Catholic? They're unbeaten.
And
they beat Carrollwood Day.
I mean, Clearwater Central Catholic, by 1 point. Let's remind everybody about that. So.
I think Chaminade's a heavy favorite. I agree. But you're right. Trinity Christian struggled at times this year. We'll see if they can get it going here into the postseason. All right, let's go ahead and we'll take our 1-minute water break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some more Blitz lines. Got some other things to get to. Also take a look at ranked teams this week. And also our Pick 6 coming up. This is the South Florida Blitz. And you're watching it tonight here on Facebook, also on Twitter, and on YouTube. Back in a moment.
here on the South Florida Blitz. Josh Wilson, Marty Pallman right over there. And happy Halloween to everybody across the Sunshine State and wherever you're watching from. We really appreciate y'all watching here on, of course, Facebook, Twitter, and on that YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell to get notifications when we go live or have the video. And Marty, definitely an interesting week already starting to shape up here. And, of course, Michael Parsons and thing as we go into the second portion of this, more Blitz lines and more headlines, and Michael Parsons is definitely waiting for this thing.
You're getting ahead of yourself. That's the big six. We're not there yet.
He's getting a little ahead, but we definitely appreciate the enthusiasm Michael Parsons has, and we love it here on FloodHSFootball.com as well. By the way,
between CCC and Gibbons.
Yes. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the MVP on FloodHSFootball.com, go to FloodHSFootball.com and you'll find the button for MVP. Subscribe. We definitely will have a lot of content, subscriber content during the playoffs. You'll want to check that out at FloodHSFootball.com. And the thing 3 different pricing plans: $10 a month, $50 for 6 months, and then $90 for the entire year. So definitely worth subscribing, supporting independent journalism content. We are very much an independent website here at FloodHSFootball.com. No corporate backing and every little thing. And Michael Parsons, definitely appreciate you saying that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much as well and everything. We definitely, we're again, no corporate, no corporate backers here in terms of corporate ownership or anything. It's independent 100%. We definitely appreciate all the support we get from all of our fans and followers here at FloodHSFootball.com.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. Amen to that. And let's continue on with our Blitz lines. We'll take a look now at Archbishop Carroll out of Miami. They knock out previously unbeaten Ransom Everglades. Bulldogs looking strong with the playoffs up next. They are the champs of 1M District 8 at 8-1. Congratulations.
Yes.
Get a hand from our crowd that's here. You hear them. They're always here. Ready to go.
The crowd's behind us somewhere.
Crowd is behind us somewhere. That's right.
Yes, indeed. So Archbishop Carroll, for the Bulldogs, they are really looking strong. They're looking good. But the thing is can they get through the region? And that's the thing. The biggest threat they're having in the region sitting there is True North. I think we talked about it in the playoff show. True North has to play Everglades Prep, clinch the district, and then it'll be it. That's the big question mark right there. That's what's going to happen. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, right, and that's what it looks like it's going to be. They're the Archbishop Carroll right now, the 2 seed behind True North in Region 4. But you said True North probably wins that game against Everglades Prep this week. But of course, that's also Region 4, that 1M, which means Chaminade Madonna is also there in Region 3. So if you were to get to the state semis, that would be your matchup probably. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see there as well. And then another game this last week that decided district title, 4S District 12. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
4S District 12. Treasure Coast beats Vero Beach. And I see the question, was Vero Beach possibly overhyped?
Well, Vero Beach, I had you in the top 25, and for me, so there you go.
Hard on yourself there.
Yeah, well, sometimes I have to tell myself so.
Well, and it says, does the win for Treasure Coast to race to 2 losses against Aquinas and Cocoa? Well,
I'm not sure.
Those are 2 teams. If you lose to them, I think you just got to go,
but they lost to them pretty badly.
That's true.
But what's the common denominator here? Cocoa.
Yes, but you know what the common denominator is? They're not going to have to play those teams.
That's true.
In the postseason.
That's true.
That's
very much true. And I think at the end of the day, Treasure Coast. Treasure Coast, is a team that could, run through the region. I think that's a possibility. It's there, but I'll be honest with you. Region 3 and Class 4S, it could also be potentially wide open too. There's DeLand sitting there.
DeLand is University, who's 8-1 this year.
I think it's
Heritage.
I think it's such a wide open possibility that anything could happen. So really, at the end of the day, I think really, it's who really has it, and that's where it's going to be discussion on Sunday in the roundtable on the show. That's going to be really, really fun to figure out. Okay, who comes out of these regions?
Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out somehow. and make predictions on it. I know it's even going to be harder than normal. Not just the pick six, we're going to have to pick a state champion and regional winner. But Treasure Coast, big win for them against Vero Beach. They're the number 1 seed in Region 3 now as they move ahead of Orange City University, and that drops Vero Beach down to number 6. So we'll see as they head towards the postseason there what happens next for those teams. And then finally, Aquinas, St. Thomas Aquinas crushes Dillard for the district title.
Yes.
And they are entering the playoffs at 9-1.
Yeah.
The only loss was to St. John Bosco.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And there you go. I mean, week 1 night, so Aquinas on a 9-game winning streak right now. Of course, it's not the longest winning streak in the state. That belongs to Hawthorne.
Yes, Hawthorne, which I believe now has won, let's see, it was 12 last year, 21.
They haven't lost a game
21
since,
in a row.
They haven't lost a game since 2021.
Madison County State Championship.
Yeah.
They haven't lost a regular season game since 2020.
So there you go.
They went undefeated in the 21 season, the 22 season, regular season, the 23. And the only loss in 21 was the championship game to Madison. Yeah, they've been on a roll.
And we'll talk more about that in the North Florida Blitz.
Yeah, we will. But so Aquinas, we'll see. Are they going to be able to win another one? Is Edgewater waiting on the other side? That's somebody we'll talk about in the Central Florida Blitz. Do we have a team from Tampa Bay or one of the other teams from South Florida, maybe Homestead, who has a shot? South Broward, we'll see. And but right now, Aquinas, the number 1 seed in Region 3, Delray Beach, Atlantic, and Coconut Creek following at 2 and 3 is Michael Parsons says Aquinas improved the St. John Bosco lost a lot. Yeah, it was very early in the year. And, of course, the Cocoa game was a bit of a controversy.
That was early in the year, too. So
yeah, they've really been playing much better. But a game that everyone thinks that they may not have actually won. The officials made some mistakes there. But, it goes down as a win, and they only have 1 loss. Cocoa only has 1 loss, too, as well. But, all right, so
time for some rankings as we roll on.
Yeah, let's take a look at the FloridaHSFootball.com rankings for South Florida teams.
Yes, indeed, and this is the first time we'll be talking about the rankings here. They will be published here probably tomorrow on FloridaHSFootball.com. I've had them ready since Sunday night, so they've been sitting here just kind of waiting with the thing of everything going on. But Chaminade Madonna will still hold that number 1 spot in the Florida top 25. Miami Norland number 3. There's really not many changes here along the way. American Heritage 4, Miami Central 5, Aquinas 7, and then going further down, Homestead at 12, Miami Palmetto 13. And then we're sitting there looking at a couple other teams sitting there along the way, and that would be Columbus sitting there. And the new team that is coming into the top 25 this week, welcome Coconut Creek into the top 25.
There you go, Coconut Creek, district champs. So congratulations, they're in the top 25 statewide now, Coconut Creek as well. All right. Well, before we go for the final time of the South Florida Blitz, let's pick 6 more games for this season. Well, that's what I meant. Sorry. Not forever.
Because we'll tell you this, the South Florida Blitz, all the Blitz shows will be back after the holiday season, and we'll get ready. We'll go through all the stuff going through off-season changes, have coaching talk. We'll have coaching news, talks with the various coaches, and we'll have some other stuff going along the way here as well. But as we get ready to go, here it is as we do the Pick 6 for the South Florida Blitz for the final time this year. And up first is a SSAA semifinal for the right to go play for the SSA state championship next week in Lakeland at Bryant Stadium. Next Saturday, November 11th, and Westminster Academy at NSU University School. This is a rematch, and when these teams met a few weeks ago, University just stomped all over Westminster Academy, and I'm almost thinking it might be the same way again. But these are the 1 and 2 seeds in the South bracket in the SSA state championship bracket.
University School used to be a powerhouse in FHSAA.
3A, yes.
Let's say 3A, right? Exactly, but. And I think they seem to be back right now on the SSA. It looks like they're the favorite. Sounds like it as well. So I'll take University School to win that game at home against Westminster.
Yeah, I'm going to say with you. I think NSU wins, advances to the SSA state championship game next weekend at Bryant Stadium in Lakeland, and I think that's how it's going to roll right there.
Yep. All right.
All right, and I think I'm pretty sure. Here you go. Michael Parsons is asking, Lyles can't do it. Will Sharks win again? He's sitting there agreeing with us.
Yeah, he does. Well, that's good. I'm glad he agrees with us.
All right. So let's roll along here in terms of the next game. This one, Boca Raton at Fort Pierce Westwood. Why I put this game on the pick six is for a lot of logical reasons. Boca Raton does not need this game. Boca Raton is in the playoffs as a district champ. Who needs this game? The Fort Pierce Westwood Panthers. They need this game. They need this game. They need to win this game to hold that number 8 seed sitting there in 3S Region 3. And I want to Seabreeze, I think, is the 9th team sitting there. So, question is, can Westwood just win this game and, keep their playoff spot? That's the big question mark. I mean, I know what's waiting on the other side for Westwood in terms of that 8th seed, mainly.
Right, that's gonna be tough one way or the other. We said that earlier in our playoff breakdown. And this thing, Boca Raton, they are the champs of District 11 and 4M, so they play in 4M Region 3. And that's gonna be tough. I mean, it's gonna be tough, I think, for Fort Pierce Westwood to win this game. You said they're 3S, correct?
Yes, 3S Region 3.
I'll tell you, I can never remember that.
It's so weird because of how the state's split in terms of Metro Suburban.
Yeah, number 8 seed, but as you said right now, I don't know. I'm going to say I'm going to go with Boca Raton. I think they're going to win this game.
I'm going to go with Boca Raton as well, and it's no offense to Coach Coquel if he's watching, but I'll be honest with you, I think it's just Boca is just, in terms of, they've played I would say slightly tougher schedule along the way. I mean, but then again, if Westwood comes out hungry, they could take this and hopefully lock themselves in that playoff spot. That's the thing. And Michael Parsons sitting there, he thinks it's going to be a tight matchup. Bobcats by a hair.
Yeah, exactly. I think it will be a close game as well. I think you're right about that. All right, moving along to our third of 6. This is a game, between a team from North Florida and a team from, basically Treasure Coast. Columbia at Vero Beach, and the Vero Beach coming in off the loss to Treasure Coast. This is a district game. Interesting matchup against Columbia, who started the year slowly, has picked it up. And then both teams are going to be in the playoffs. Yeah, and I was talking to somebody, and they feel like maybe that, Columbia has a chance maybe to pull off the upset at Vero Beach, but that's a road trip. It is a road trip. And I saw Bradford go down there a few weeks ago and win in Miami against True North, but yeah. Not as long of a road trip going to Vero Beach, but also true. Still at the same time, playing at the Citrus Bowl there in Vero Beach, it's not an easy environment to play in, and I like the matchup. I just wish Columbia was a little bit better in terms of the record here, but Columbia has been showing improvement as of late. I don't doubt the Tigers, but the question is this is what's frustrating. The Tigers are, I believe, would finish. I believe they are now 5-4. I want to say 4-4. 4-4. Yeah. So they actually, a loss here puts them at below 500. Right. Going into the playoffs. I just, what? I think Vero Beach, to be honest with you, I think Vero Beach is angry. I think Vero Beach is angry that they lost to Treasure Coast Saturday. I think they're coming in this game hungry. They want to show out and say, hey, you know what? Let's forget about Treasure Coast. We just won our last game here, and it's probably senior night, too, for them, I want to say. But, I mean, honestly, give me Vero Beach in this one over Columbia. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think Columbia can win this game on the road. I think it's a tough place to go to against a 4S team in Vero Beach that is one of the best in the state. I'll take Vero Beach at home as well. And our resident here, Michael Parsons, which he's right. Vero Beach looks flat against Treasure Coast, but they play better at home. Yes, they do. That's why Vero Beach schedules more home games than they do road games. Yeah, they are pretty automatic at home. You're right. They struggle on the road, but I mean, they have a home loss to Sanford Seminole this year, so I mean that's pretty good. But let's keep that in mind. But yeah. Columbia is not so Sanford Seminole. Sorry. No, they're not. All right, next up, Dillard, who just lost big time to Aquinas at Blanche Ely. You said the Soul Bowl. The Broward Soul Bowl. Dillard at Blanche Ely. Blanche Ely, as you said, Dillard lost to St. Thomas Aquinas. Blanche Ely just lost to West Boca Raton. Both teams are coming into this game looking for a win, and oh my. I mean, the question now here is what's going on with here? Dillard, Blanche Ely. Dillard may end up finishing the regular season 5-5. I mean, and Blanche Ely, I thought Blanche Ely was kind of rolling, but West Boca kind of exposed them a St. Thomas Yeah, it sure did. And by the way, this district, who's winning that district? Dillard won their Dillard. St. Thomas Aquinas beat Dillard to win that district. Yeah, and Blanche Ely, they're in the same district with Coconut Creek. Creek won.
Yeah, okay. So
right. Well,
this is for pride. It's not just for pride. This is so bold. This game probably means a lot more than in sometimes even a playoff game because it's the soul of Broward County.
Yeah, 7-2, Blanche Ely having a good year. I can tell you, I remember when Blanche Ely basketball team was really, they've been a powerhouse. One year we broadcast their game in Lakeland, and I called them Ely, and I got a reply.
Yes, it is Blanche Ely.
I actually got a reply in the air. We go by Blanche Ely, not Ely. I'm like, okay, sorry. So in this case, I like Blanche Ely to win this game at home against Dillard and go 8-2.
Yeah, I'm with you. As Michael Parsons says, it's up here on the screen here. And it was their worst game against St. Thomas Aquinas in
40 years.
And
wow.
Usually those games are pretty close. So
yeah,
this time around, not the case.
So it says Ely wins. All right. So next up, we stick in Palm Beach area. Cardinal Newman against Palm Beach Central. This should be a good matchup.
Yes. I mean, Cardinal Newman both teams only have one loss on the year. Cardinal Newman's loss was to Miami Northwestern, who is probably not going to be making the playoffs, and Palm Beach Central's only losses to Palm Beach Gardens, who looks like they're going to make the playoffs. So,
yeah, right.
And this is at Palm Beach Central, and Palm Beach Central coming off the win with the Wellington Cup, but Cardinal Newman, they were off last week, so Newman's probably a little fresh here coming into this game. But, man, this is a tough one, so tough. And Michael Parsons, make your pick, please. Go first on this one. But you know what, Marty? I'm going to go with the home team. I just got to go with the home team. It's just one of those things that it's a coin flip, home field advantage for Palm Beach Central. If this was at Newman, I would go with Newman.
Yeah, I think so too. Palm Beach Central is in which class? I can't
4M.
Oh, they're 4M. Okay, that's right. That's why I'm not looking at. Okay.
And
yeah,
Newman is in 1M.
Palm Beach Central, number 1 seed. Yeah, that's a little bit of a difference. I'll take Palm Beach Central. They're 8-1 at home to win that game as well. So we're 5 for 5 right now. And by the way, this says whatever bet against Coach Daniels.
Coach Jack Daniels, who coached at Dwyer for many years. He's the head coach now at Cardinal Newman, and he's going opposite of us on this one. Okay,
yeah, that's fine.
All right, that's always good.
Now it's funny because this actually says our last game says Clearwater Central Catholic at Cardinal Newman. I'm sorry to make Cardinal Gibbons.
Yes, no, sorry, yeah, I typed it in.
We talked about that earlier. No, it's okay. I was thinking Cardinal Newman's got 2 games this week.
No.
Yeah, Clearwater Central Catholic and Cardinal Gibbons. This is the game of the week. And I know. Was it Michael asking us earlier?
Yes, he was asking about this game.
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be. Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. And
Gibbons has struggled a little bit this year. I mean, Gibbons is still a good team. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
This Clearwater Central Catholic team though has played some tough games, and they have played a tough schedule. Both teams have played a tough schedule. And this is, I mean, let me see. Let me look here real quick at the rankings here real quickly between these two teams. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so Cardinal Gibbons, 14.822. I want to say Clearwater Central Catholic.
18.163. I'm looking at it.
Ooh, man.
You know what? Yeah, that's interesting. I think I'm going to take Clearwater Central Catholic to win this game.
All right.
On the road.
Bud Tight Field. Oh, man. That's an environment there of itself right there, Cardinal Gibbons. You know what? Here you go. I'm going opposite you. I'm going Gibbons for the win and give CCC their first loss heading into the playoffs.
All right, we got a difference there. That's good.
And let's see what Michael Parsons
from CCC early. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe JC Denton says this one gets away from CCC early. Gibbons 35, CCC 14. Gibbons home is tough, and they're a weird thing.
That's true.
He thinks CCC wins. Oh wow, it's a difference here.
All right,
I love it.
We'll stick with that then. Okay.
Yes, I love it, Marty. I mean, this is it's definitely been fun to watch on that one and hear the interaction from everybody, and of course everything, but. When we get to the playoffs, we'll definitely track the playoff games more in terms of how we do win-loss.
Yeah, we haven't really been keeping up with that.
But when we go into the 2024 season doing this, we'll be definitely.
That's true. All right, well, that's going to do it for, I guess, our last edition of the season of South Florida Blitz.
No, absolutely.
We'll talk to you again after the first of the year, but we do want you to stay tuned. Check out our other shows coming up: Central Florida Blitz, the Gulf Coast Blitz, and North Florida Blitz, and also Sunday, our special program, 5 to 7 p.m. as we take a look at the playoff pairings this year, a roundtable discussion with all kinds of people around the state. Should be fun.
Yes, Larry Bluestein, Irish Bill Hamill, Mike Rideout, Dan LaForce joining us for that special 5 to 7 p.m. on Sunday on the FloridaHSFootball.com platforms. We appreciate everybody watching here. Stay tuned. Up next is the Central Florida Blitz. And we'll see you there in a few minutes right here on the FloridaHSFootball.com platforms. Thank you for watching the South Florida Blitz. Good night.
Bye-bye. Alrighty.